Hello, welcome to the Pedestal Society. My name is Brielle. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get into the room because I know I have, been manipulating and changing the times a little bit here. So I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in the room, and then we're gonna talk about how to transmute jealousy to open up a new reality. Jealousy and anger are normal human emotions. So if you are on the receiving end of it, or if you're feeling these emotions, don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking that these aren't normal or that something is wrong. What I want you to do is I want you to understand emotions so that you can transmute these emotions, alchemize these emotions so that you can open up an entire new reality for yourself. Because emotions are nothing but energy and information. And so I'm going to wait for everybody to get in the room and then we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. And we're going to talk about it because the more that I scroll and look on social media, I'm starting to see a lot of emotions like jealousy pop up, not towards me, but towards other content creators and, the things I'm seeing happening on social media going back and forth. And so I want you to know jealousy is not a bad thing. Okay. Jealousy is not a horrible thing. Anger is not a bad thing. Anger isn't a bad thing. These are human emotions that are emotional energy, that are usable energy, so that you can utilize that energy in order to open up an entire reality. That emotion could be the help to your next level up. That emotion could be the help to your next uh, beauty, new look, new creativity, new life. But you have to learn how to utilize those emotions instead of projecting them outward and releasing them and not allowing those emotions to be used in the manner that they can be used. You need to learn how to alchemize, transmute those emotions so that you can get the things that you want out of life. Jealousy, jealousy, the green-eyed monster, whether if you've been a woman who have been on the receiving end of that, or you've been a woman who have felt that. I can say, honestly, I've been a woman who have felt jealousy, especially when it comes to social media. I have been a woman who felt jealous of how content creators have blown past my numbers or blown past my content. And I am glad that I felt that. If I would have been of the mind that jealousy is bad, that I should never feel jealousy, then I would have ever been able to alchemize and transmute that emotion so that I can become better. I would have never been able to use that emotion properly. I probably would have been projecting that emotion outwardly. Maybe I would have been on social media complaining about not being able to get ahead or complaining that they aren't as good as I am. If I wouldn't have learned how to alchemize the emotion of jealousy, I wouldn't have been able to get the information that jealousy was giving me. Because jealousy was giving me the next level up to my content. That is the reason why you got the Pedestal Wife Society. That is the reason why you got me really diving into different topics and bring you different information. Because I realized I had to be better. It's not because of I'm in competition with anybody. It is because jealousy gave me the information that I needed to my next level up. So you wouldn't have seen the whole glow up from the beginning of me starting my content till now, because jealousy did that for me. Jealousy helped me create a whole nother reality. Just like jealousy opened up, and I absolutely give thanks to jealousy for me being able to have the type of husband that I have. Because if I wouldn't have been angry, if I wouldn't have been jealous of that woman receiving the thing that I wanted, I would have never went after the things that I wanted. So let's shake the table. Let's talk about the fact that jealousy isn't a bad thing. It is absolutely a good thing. The thing is, you have to stop projecting outwardly with it, which means you can't go around complaining, fighting, arguing, yelling, or doing things to project the energy outward. You have to learn how to take that energy in and transmute it, which means just to change it into something else so it'll be helpful. So it'll give you the information that you desire, so you can go to the next level. So jealousy, you will never hear me say that it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing when it's used properly. It's a great emotion to have because that emotion leads to information. And that information leads us to our next level up. It leads us to our next mindset change. It leads us to our next shift in creativity. So I'm glad that I had jealousy in my life. I'm glad that I felt jealous. I'm glad that I received jealousy, because if I wouldn't have been able to do that, I wouldn't be here now. So I'm going to go ahead and let you all take it in. Make sure you can hear me too, because I'm kind of a little bit ways from the mic. Make sure you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. The chat is open. If you have something to comment or you have a question, come on, let's have this conversation today, because I want to really talk about the fact that when it comes to those emotions are nothing but emotional energy. They empower the body or disempower the body. So let's say you have jealousy and it's eating you up. You are the green monster. You're jealous because she has something that you didn't get, or you didn't get the promotion, or your life isn't like someone else. You're comparing your life to somebody else, and it's just eating you up inside. Now, that isn't healthy. That is not empowering the body. That is not utilizing that energy in order to create or open up a new reality or level up or mindset shift or be creative. You're not using that energy properly. If you are using it in that manner, then no, that's not healthy. But if you're using jealousy in a way where it is a way of getting information so that you can open up a new path for your creativity, so you can have more opportunities, more money, more things that you want in your life, more desire, because that's another thing that jealousy gives us. It gives us information into the desires of our heart. And if I wouldn't have been paying attention, I wouldn't have been able to use jealousy in order to transmute it, alchemize it, in order to be able to meet the man of my dreams. I would have been still stuck with the little green-eyed monster being jealous of that situation, or jealous of her, or jealous of that I'm not getting what I want out of life. If I wouldn't have turned it around and started looking at the reasons, the why, and how I can use that emotional energy so I can have the things I want out of life, I can't even imagine what my life would look like. So if you are experiencing, or you're on the receiving end of jealousy, or you're absolutely experiencing jealousy yourself, this is the video for you. This is how you're going to utilize it, because you can utilize even the energy that you're receiving from someone else in order to open up another reality for yourself. Because even if you're receiving and you're that energy of jealousy, and that person is like, they're emulating you, copying you, talking about you, they're doing all the things that some people can do when they're jealous, right? Receive that energy. Instead of getting caught up in the why she doesn't like me, why she's copying me, why she's jealous of me, don't get caught up in all of that. Put your head down, focus in on the things that you desire. Utilize that energy that is you're receiving in order to go and create the things that you want, the reality that you want for yourself. Don't get so caught up in what happens when we project outwardly. When we project outwardly, sometimes we tend to complain about a situation that we're receiving jealousy, or that someone doesn't like us, or someone doesn't care about us. We complain about it, and we let that beautiful energy that can be used for our own reality, our own desires, our own livelihood, we release it, and it's not being used to us in a way that can be so we can level up. Hey Daisy, hey Hessie. But you can transmute any emotional energy. It doesn't matter what emotion it is. You can utilize any emotion that you are you're receiving or you're feeling, and you can use those emotions to transmute. And when I say transmute, I'm just saying change. When you're going to change it into something that you can utilize. I want you to think about the people who have used anger in order to be successful. I know several people in my current life that have become successful based off of them not having a great childhood. So anger can be used, any emotion, positive or negative, any emotion that you are feeling or receiving can be used to transmute and open up a whole new reality. Especially if you, instead of you projecting, and when I say projecting, I mean, instead of complaining about it, talking about it, wasting your time and energy about the situation, you take the time to utilize that energy and have it empower your body instead of disempower your body. Because emotions are nothing but energy that is usable. So that is the reason why some people can get very angry, and they can take that anger and they can get a promotion. They can take their anger and they can become successful. They can take their jealousy and they can become a CEO. You can take any emotion and create a whole nother reality for yourself if you learn how to stop projecting outwardly and wasting that energy instead of and use it to empower your body instead of disempowering your body. And you will see the difference. I did this unintentionally when I was a young woman, because I know that when I got out of that bad relationship, the one I've talked about it before on social media, I was jealous and I was angry. Those two emotions helped me to start diving into personal development. It also helped me to ask the important questions of why, so that I can get to the nitty gritty of my own desire. And that's what jealousy is. It is nothing but an indication of your desire. If you're jealous of something personally, if you're jealous of something someone else is doing or something someone else has, it's just an indicator that you have a desire for that thing. That's the reason why I don't look at those emotions as taboo or something you shouldn't feel. Most people will tell you, oh, you shouldn't feel jealousy. I think jealousy is a good thing because it's a human emotion. And not only is it a good thing, it's a way of information. You get you get a good indicator. Basically, you get a flag pointing straight to what you desire. Because if you're jealous of it, this means you want it also. And since you want it also, why not utilize that energy in order to have it? And that's what I did for myself when I realized that I was feeling these emotions and I didn't really know how to handle it. So I started really diving deep into personal development and self-development. And I started asking myself the important questions of why, and started realizing that the reason I was feeling jealous is because I wanted what I saw. And since I didn't have it, I desired it. And I realized, guess what? Just if someone else has it, you can have it also. And so I started doing the work so that I can have that thing also. So yes, I credit having feeling jealousy in my bones. I credit feeling jealousy in my bones for me being able to have the life I currently have now. Because if I wouldn't have ever felt that jealousy, felt that anger, felt those deep emotions, I wouldn't have been able to transmute them, alchemize it into something that I can empower my body, empower my mind, so that I can make that shift and create a reality that I can be proud of. So yes, nothing wrong with jealousy, nothing wrong with anger, nothing wrong with these emotions. The only thing, or when these emotions become a problem, is when you project outwardly with them, when you waste the emotions, when you waste them complaining about something, when you waste them trying to hurt someone else, or you waste them trying to harm someone else, or talk down on someone else, or pour kerosene on their name. That's the only time that that energy is wasted, because you're not utilizing it in order to empower yourself. You're using it to disempower yourself. Because all emotions are nothing but energy, and that energy can be used to empower yourself. Even anger, they did a study on anger, and I thought it was so interesting. They talked about how people who have like neutral emotions, they don't feel anything. That's the reason why I talk so badly about the unbotheredness that I see on social media, because you are letting go half of the power that you have as a woman to transmute and alchemize your entire a new reality for yourself. So that's the reason I talk about it, because there's been so much research talked about how neutral emotions don't empower the body, that it disempowers the body. This means instead of you having that energy to go after your dreams, to go after your goals, to be successful, neutral emotions don't give you that. So if I'm so unbothered, I'm so uncaring, I don't care about anything, I don't get to empower the body to get the things I want out of life. So everybody with me here? I want to make sure this is landing and everybody's getting me where I'm going with this, because neutral emotions will not get empower the body in the way that is desired, so that you can open a whole new reality. And it doesn't matter about what type of emotion it is. I don't really sit around and label emotions positive or negative. Any emotion can be used to empower the body so that you can open a whole new reality for yourself. It can be sadness, it can be happiness, it can be joy, whatever strong emotion that you have. Instead of wasting that energy by complaining, talking about it, you could utilize that energy to empower the body and help you to set or live up to your goals or get the things that you want in life or go after your dreams, live the life that you desire. And I did it unintentionally when I was nothing but an 18-year-old. But I didn't really understand what I was doing. Now, the further I get into these studies, I realized that you were empowering yourself with the emotions that you had. You could have just projected those emotions outwardly and just put those emotions on other people. You could have went in and complaining, and you could have went in and caused problems in that relationship. You could have went in and did all these different things. You could have went chasing him. Instead, you chose not to and decided to use your anger and your jealousy of that situation in order to start diving deep into self-development and personal development and womanhood. And that's when I started doing that, I started getting deeper to the why. I started getting deeper to my insecurities. I started getting deeper to my goals and the things that I desire in life. And that helped me to create a new reality. But it all started from those emotions. That's the reason why I say emotions, jealousy, it can open up a whole new reality. You just have to know how to utilize them. And not be so upset when you're on the receiving end of that, because maybe you're not feeling jealous. Maybe you have other people who are jealous of you, and you can utilize that energy just as if you were feeling it yourself, because it's still an energy. Energy doesn't disappear. It's still always available and it's always surrounding us. So even if you're just on the receiving end of it, instead of getting upset or getting buried in the why they are jealous of you and being upset that they're jealous of you, take and receive that energy, flip that energy and utilize that energy to open up your new reality. Use that energy to beautify yourself. Use that energy to level up your mindset. Use that energy to create a whole nother lifestyle for yourself. That is what these energies can be used for when they're used properly. But if you sit and stew in jealousy and you project it outwardly and you go around complaining, gossiping, and doing things to cause problems just because you're jealous, these things are not going to empower you. They absolutely disempower you. It's just the same concept of when they did the research about anger, and they talked about how anger sitting in the body can cause cancer because it's not being utilized. That is an energy. You need to release that energy. That is the reason why when you release it into going after your goals. You release it into going after your reality, going after the things you desire. You use that energy to empower the body, and you will see positive results from it. But when you use it to disempower the body, you will find that the body will get sick. So if you sit around and you're just like the green monster and you're so jealous of any and everything, you will find that you're going to have some sickness from that. But if you utilize jealousy in order to and utilize it as information and realize that if I'm feeling jealous, this means this is information. This means I desire that thing. And instead of just desiring that thing, utilize that energy to have that thing, to create that new reality. So you have that thing, whatever it is. Maybe you want to have a more up-level lifestyle. Maybe you see, or you're scrolling on Instagram, you see women living their best life. Instead of absolutely being jealous of them, utilize that energy so that you can have that lifestyle also, so that you can have what you're seeing in front of you. But this is how you're going to transmute jealousy to open up a new reality. And it doesn't have to necessarily be jealousy. It could be any emotion that you're feeling or receiving. And when I say receiving, I'm just saying that you are surrounded by people who are feeling this, and you can feel that they feel that. That is an energy. You can utilize that also to open up and create your own reality, your own shift, so you can have the things that you want out of life. So that's the reason why I am not scared of jealousy. I'm not scared of people who may not like me. I have the courage to be disliked because I understand the more that I encounter that type of energy, the more I can transmute, alchemize that energy so that I can create a whole nother reality. See, if I'm on the receiving end of jealousy, I'm going to take that jealousy in, and instead of trying to complain or talk about it or be confused that I am receiving that, I'm going to take that energy and utilize it so maybe I can go after whatever I'm trying to go after. Maybe I have a goal that I want to achieve. Maybe I want to take more time to beautify myself. Maybe I want to up-level my mind. Maybe I want to create a whole nother path for wealth. I'm going to utilize all of that energy that I'm receiving from others in order to do so. And that's what you can do also, instead of being scared of emotion, because I think now we're reaching a time where people are kind of scared of emotions, especially women. Women are scared of feeling. They're scared of deep feelings and emotions because we have been taught to a certain degree that we shouldn't feel those things. And what I want to do is talk about the fact you don't have to be scared of those emotions. Those emotions are nothing but energy. And if you learn how to use that energy to empower the body, you can empower and uplift your mind, and you can live a whole nother lifestyle that you desire. You can utilize that in order to be or become whatever you want to become. So jealousy doesn't stop anything over here. Jealousy, anger, any of those emotions doesn't stop anything, because I have learned how to alchemize it, transmute it, and utilize it so I can become better. It just empowers me. And I want it to also empower you. I don't want those human emotions that everybody feel to stop you from having the life that you want, because you're going to encounter it. Unfortunately, you're going to be on the receiving end, or you may feel it yourself. You're going to encounter somebody being jealous of you for no reason, just because you're showing up in the way that you're showing up, or you're leveling up in the way you're leveling up, or you're becoming better, or you're living a lifestyle that they desire. Unfortunately, jealousy is a part of the world. And instead of being scared of it or being on the receiving end of it, I want you to know how to transmute it, alchemize it, change it so that it can be a benefit to you, instead of it being disempowering, because it can be somewhat hurtful that someone is jealous of you when you feel like you're just doing your normal day to day. You're just being the best version of yourself every single day. And then you're on the receiving end of some jealousy. You're on the receiving end of some dislike. You're on the receiving end of someone else's anger. And instead of being scared of it, don't. I want you, instead of running away and being scared of those basic human emotions, I want you to be empowered so that you can use that energy to empower your body and empower your mind so that you can have the things that you want. So because I'm going to credit being jealous. And I'm not going to hold you. And this is the most realest thing I've ever said on this page. I'm going to say that me being jealous as a young woman definitely helped me to have the life that I currently have right now. Just because I was jealous, it gave me insight and information to what I desired. Because I was so young, I really hadn't wrapped my mind around what I wanted out of life. I knew I wanted to get married, but I didn't necessarily knew what I wanted from that marriage. I didn't know how I wanted that marriage to operate. I didn't know how I wanted my husband to be, or how I wanted my husband to adore. And me being jealous because the person that I cared about someone else more, that helped me to be able to empower my body and empower my mind so I can create the reality that I currently live. But it was because of being jealous is how I got here. Real, right? Because most people won't admit to being jealous. Most people want to pretend that they've never been jealous in their life. They've never been on the receiving end, or never felt that emotion. And I can honestly say that me feeling those deep emotions is what helped me create the current reality that I have now. And me realizing that anger, jealousy, insecurity, all of these emotions that you may feel at any time, instead of being disempowered by those emotions, I want you to learn how to alchemize those emotions, because those emotions, they're the way to your next level up. Those emotions are the way to beautify yourself. Those emotions that everybody is saying that you shouldn't have, that you shouldn't feel, that you should be unbothered by. Those emotions, they are the way to have the life that you desire. And when I started using my emotions in that way, and not just in the way of projecting outwardly of my emotions, letting everybody see and feel my emotions, and letting anybody into my emotions, and I realized my emotions can be used as another power of being a woman, that I can use these emotions to shift my mindset. I can use these emotions to kind of identify my desires. I can use these emotions to go after my goals. That's the reason why you make somebody truly angry at you, they can do either two things. If you make someone angry at you, either they're going to yell at you, scream at you, heck, maybe want to fight you. But the other way, you might make somebody so angry they go being successful despite you. Because emotions are nothing but emotional energy that is usable for the body. And when you understand that, you can use all emotions to help you create your desired reality. So you don't have to shy away from your emotions. I'm never gonna on this page, personally, I would never ever tell women that emotions don't matter, because I understand how important emotions are. Emotions are information, they're energy, they're insight into what you're trying to acquire or what you desire. So emotions are important, and I don't believe in you shutting down or being unbothered or acting as though you don't have emotions. But I want you, if you're a person, you're kind of stuck in these emotions, you're stewing in these emotions, I want you to think about, are these emotions empowering me or disempowering me? If they're disempowering you, then it's time to start to learn how to alchemize and transmute those emotions so that they can empower you. Because I have looked on or scrolling on social media myself per se, and I have looked at people's skin and people's aesthetic and all the things I see on social media, and feeling the desire of wanting that thing definitely has inspired me to do the thing for myself. And that's the reason why emotions are so important. Like, if you didn't have emotions, walk around like a robot. And walking around like a robot does not help you to create the reality that you desire. That's why emotions are so important. That's the reason why you won't ever hear me talk about being a robot or telling. I won't ever teach you to be unbothered. I'm going to always teach you to use your emotions in a way where it's going to empower you so that you can live the life that you desire. Because I'm going to keep saying it until it hits home. Jealousy is one of the reasons that woke me up, because I realized that I was jealous and I was angry, and being jealous and angry definitely empowered me so that I could have that mindset shift that was needed, so that I would start diving into personal development, so I can start asking the deeper questions of why I didn't think I was good enough, why I didn't think that I deserved what I saw he was giving to somebody else. So those questions, though that emotion definitely helped me create the reality that I currently have. And emotions are currently still constantly helping me create new realities and new paths of wealth. I think you all, if you saw my little thumbnail where I said more haters, more money, more opportunities. I truly do believe in that, because I understand that when you utilize the emotions that I've talked about in the way that I am teaching, where it empowers you, you will use those emotions as information. And that information is going to help you guide you towards your goals. And it's going to empower you to shift your mindset and create the reality and get the things that you desire out of this life. But if it all started from me feeling jealous, that's where it started from. Me being angry. And people were telling me, just like they tell you all today, I think the same old advice keeps getting recycled over and over, that it doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter. Like, you shouldn't feel that way. And hearing that did not help me to be able to get what I needed. And I'm glad that I started asking myself those deeper questions, and I started empowering myself with those emotions instead of going about it in a way of projecting my emotions on other people or trying to do things to harm another person because I was feeling these emotions. I started realizing my emotions are my responsibility. And since it's my responsibility, it is my job to dive deeper into my emotions and utilize it in a way that's going to be helpful instead of unhelpful. You all know the routine. The chat is open. If you have something you want to comment or something you want to say, go ahead, drop it in the chat. You all know I stay as long as you are. We're having a conversation. But it is so important that you learn how to transmute jealousy. Instead of allowing jealousy to disempower, I don't even care if it's something that you're currently feeling jealous. You're feeling jealous, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're on the receiving end of jealousy, you can still utilize it. Instead of taking the time to try to question the person who's jealous or gossip about the person who's jealous, utilize that energy that you're receiving from them in order to become better. Pour it back into yourself. Take the time more to dig deeper into the things and the goals that you have for yourself, the things that you want to achieve, the reality that you want to create. You're going to focus more in on that and not be as concerned about what you're receiving, because that's going to empower you. Nothing like an audience. I just want you to think about it. When you're receiving jealousy, it's an audience. You have an audience now. You have someone who's watching you go and achieve goal after goal. You have a cheerleading team that's watching you go after your desires and get the things you want in life. That is how, instead of me sitting here looking at it as a bad thing, if I'm going to receive an end of jealousy, I'm looking at it as I have a cheerleading squad, someone who's looking, someone who's cheering, someone who's watching. And I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as a way, well, I need to go harder. That means I need to do better. I need to show up as my best self because I have someone watching. And if I'm feeling it, this is information, because there's a reason that I'm feeling it. There's a reason why I'm feeling jealous. There's a reason why the green monster's on my shoulder. And that means I desire something that I feel like that I'm not worthy of, or that I feel like it's out of reach or out of touch, or something that I cannot receive myself. And now it's on me to go after the thing that I want. It's on me to make goals so that I can have the things that I want. Wow, this is a very interesting topic. I love the concept of accepting and empowering yourself with those negative emotions. Absolutely. Is there anything we can do to protect ourselves spiritually from jealousy? Honestly, I'm not. There isn't a reason to protect yourself from jealousy, because it's still just the emotion. It's just, you're just on the receiving end of it. And instead of worrying about protection, that's wasting of energy. Worrying about protecting yourself from someone who's just looking at you and jealous of you, that's a waste of energy, when you can utilize that energy to go after your goals, to beautify yourself, to level up your mind. You have so many things, so many ways you can utilize that energy instead of worrying about protection. Now, if that person is trying to harm you, that's not jealousy. That's a whole nother matter. That means go to the police. It feels better and more authentic than trying to ignore or stuff them down, which I feel like causes more issues, last straw explosions, anxiety, or feeling them, but letting disempower. Yeah, I was on the receiving end of that, because I would have people tell me, oh, you shouldn't be jealous, or you're pretty, you have this going on, you shouldn't be. That those things don't work at all if you don't examine the root, the cause. It doesn't work. Telling people just to ignore it, it doesn't work when you haven't examined the cause, especially if you're the one feeling it. If you are the green-eyed monster, then it doesn't work that way. Now, if a person is telling you, hey, you should try to figure out why that person's jealous of you, I wouldn't waste my energy or my time. I was just experiencing that today. Thank you for sharing. Well, I see this popping up a lot with a lot of content creators right now. Some people are experiencing jealousy, and they're having to deal with the aftermaths of the audience being jealous to a certain degree. And instead of them transmuting that energy, they are wasting that energy. They're wasting energy trying to complain, talk about it, make videos, when they should take that jealousy, take that energy, and empower themselves and improve their platform, improve their talking points, improve their goals, go after the things that they desire in life, create their entire new reality. Allow emotions to empower instead of disempower. And so I felt like this would be a good topic, regardless if you're not on social media. Everyone has felt jealousy, or you have been on the receiving end of it. And so being on the receiving end or feeling it yourself, you need to realize that you can transmute any of the emotional energy to empower the body. That is the reason why people who, you'll probably come across people who have used anger to win, to succeed, to go after education, to make money. People have used anger in that way. And this is actually the best way to use those type of emotions, when you empower yourself with them versus disempower yourself. We don't want those emotions to sit in the body and make the body sick. Strong, especially strong and negative emotions, should not sit in the body. I always give the advice, if you have strong negative emotions and it's sitting in the body and you don't know what to do with yourself, you need to release those emotions. Some people release by exercising. Some people release by screaming. Some people release by dancing. You need to release those emotions because negative emotions in the body harms the body. That is how you know it's energy. It's the energy that is usable that can empower the body or disempower the body. So that energy of jealousy, and because it's a strong energy, and I feel like, I don't know, you all can chime in. I feel like women experience a lot of jealousy. Either they experience it themselves or they're on the receiving end of jealousy. And so I thought that was the best emotion to talk about in this video, because I think we all can relate and say either we've been on the receiving end or we've experienced ourselves. I'm saying I've been on the receiving end, and I've also have been the one who has been the little green-eyed monster and been jealous. And me being jealous has helped me level up every step of the way. Me feeling these strong negative emotions, maybe insecurity, has helped me to be able to dive deep into my insecurity. That's the reason why I started this work. I started this work for myself before I even started teaching it. That's the reason why I started looking further into my insecurity, because I felt insecure around women. I felt insecure, and I felt the thief of comparison. I felt jealousy. So since I felt all these deep emotions, I started doing the work and dived into personal development. And if I wouldn't have felt those emotions, I would have never went into that direction. I'm not gonna say I would have never went in that direction per se, but I knew I probably wouldn't went in as early as I did. Because most people start looking at self-development in their 20s. I was literally probably like 18 years old when I started looking into personal development. I've always been a reader, but I was reading for entertainment. I wasn't reading for the personal development. And so me feeling these deep emotions and feeling jealous and feeling insecure and feeling like I didn't belong, I didn't fit in, all these negative emotions I felt. And I feel like it also like harmed my body because I got sick too. Because negative emotions in the body disempowers the body. And since it disempowers the body, it opens the body up for sickness. And that's the reason why I encourage women to understand how to alchemize and transmute those emotions so that you can either beautify yourself, utilize that emotion. If you're feeling insecure around women or you feel like you don't look good enough, use that energy to beautify yourself. Maybe dive deeper into leveling up your look. Maybe dive deeper into changing your wardrobe. Maybe dive deeper into maybe applying makeup or not applying makeup, or getting skincare, or get a skincare routine together. You can utilize that energy because that energy helps you to get to the information. And that information is going to be the way that you level up your life. This is how you're going to create your new reality. I'm not talking about something that's nonsensical, like something that you can't achieve or something that you can't have. That's the reason I'm talking about it in a way where it's going to be relatable. Because I want you, no matter what it is, if it is a negative or a positive emotion, you can utilize any emotion because all emotion is energy. And all energy is usable. And all energy can either empower or disempower the body and mind. And so instead of, if you're feeling jealous or you're on the receiving end of jealousy, instead of being so concerned about if they're jealous, why they're jealous, complaining about being jealous, or upset that they're jealous of you, I want you to refocus that energy back onto you. And instead of focusing in on that, focus in on how you can use that energy so you can empower the body so you can go to your next level. Maybe that empowering the body for you, it could be a mindset shift that you can change, that can happen. Maybe you will have more empathy or sympathy for women who are going through that, especially if you're on the receiving end of that. Maybe you can go into whatever goals that you have set for yourself. You'll be more empowered to go after it. Yes, it makes me want to cry for that fact that I needed to hear this. You're welcome. I felt like that I experienced it, and I feel like other women can relate also. Yeah, wow, I think we all need to hear this. Never heard it anywhere else before. You're welcome. Both ends for sure. Definitely. I mean, I've been on the receiving end, and I definitely have been on the person who was very jealous. And instead of, I mean, I could have stewed in it. I could have complained about it. I could have projected outwardly about that jealousy. Instead, what I decided, And I'm glad that I just realized and woke up that, hey, maybe I can utilize this information that I'm receiving about myself so that I can level up. Because if I wouldn't have felt that, I don't think I would have the life that I have currently. Because if I wouldn't have realized that, and instead of projecting that energy and trying to put that energy off on the other people or him, I decided I'm going to utilize this energy so that I can become better. Use this energy so that I can have what I want in life. And I started really going in on my own personal development and developing myself as a woman. Because the way the world is set up, and especially as women, I think we have so much information, so many things being thrown at us all the time. Jealousy is just a common emotion for us. And the thing is, a lot of times it's taught that jealousy is something you should never feel. And I'm going to tell you that's a lie. Jealousy is something that's normal. Jealousy is a normal human emotion. The thing is, you can utilize that emotion for your good. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a horrible thing. It doesn't make you a bad person because you feel jealousy or you're on the receiving end of it. It just means it's an opportunity right in front of you to be empowered. So you can utilize that emotional energy that's coming towards you or that you feel yourself currently in order to create the next reality. Maybe it's in that emotion is the way to your path to success or your path to getting the things or accomplishing your goals that you want. Just like I did. Because I credit feeling those emotions. I credit having those emotions, those negative emotions, to forward, to making sure I vetted and making sure I had the type of man that was going to adore and care for me. Because I sure didn't want what I had prior. And I definitely didn't want to live my life being jealous of someone else. I wanted to experience the happiness that I saw in front of me. Remember, jealousy is nothing but information. It's insight to your next desire, to your next level up. So if you don't like being on the receiving end of someone being jealous of you, you can send them my way. I don't mind them being jealous of me because I'm just going to alchemize and transmute that energy and utilize that energy so that I can go to my next level up. Maybe it will be the next level of beauty that I might desire. Maybe it might be help me get to the next goal that I have for myself. Because that is what those emotions are meant to do for you. They are there for a reason. They're not just there to be there. They're there so you can level up and create the reality that you desire. And specifically, since we're talking about jealousy in this live stream, that is there. That's your insight. That's information, valuable information into what you desire in this life. So if you're scrolling on the internet or you're looking around you, and you see women who are well put together and living a life that you desire and you feel jealousy for that, only thing you can do is allow that jealousy to empower you. And then you can also have that thing that you see. That is what that is meant to be for. I know you've been taught that little girls, women, we should not be jealous of each other. I'm going to tell you should be. There's nothing wrong with jealousy. Only time it becomes harmful is if you allow it to fester in the body. I'm not saying allow jealousy to fester in the body and let it disempower the body, because any strong negative emotion is not healthy for the body. I'm saying as long as you're learning to transmute and alchemize that emotion, you can use that emotion. Maybe you can become a millionaire. Maybe you can achieve your goals. Maybe you can have the lifestyle that you want. Maybe you can become more beautiful. Maybe you can up-level your life in a way that you've only dreamed about. So those emotions are useful. Be jealous. Just don't allow jealousy to disempower you. Be angry. Be angry that you don't get or have what you want in life, because that anger can carry you to success. Strong emotions will carry you further than neutral emotions will. So all this unbotheredness and not having any emotions and being robotic and being stoic, those things, those emotions, they're hard to alchemize or transmute because there's no energy received from that. A neutral emotion, where you feel nothing, you get nothing. You can't utilize that emotional energy to empower the body so that you have more energy to go after things you want, and you have a shifted mindset to go and level up and be the thing that you want to be. So if you don't like someone being jealous of you, I don't mind it. If you don't want any of those emotions around you, I don't mind it, because I know it's in the emotions is the information that I need for my next level up. Maybe the next time you send me more jealous people around me. Maybe next time you see me, maybe I will be more beautiful than I am now. Maybe I'll be done accomplish something I've been dreaming about, because it's in the emotions that's your level up. Regardless if you are the one feeling it or you're on the receiving end of it. It can be used either way. So you don't have to be the one feeling the jealousy. You can be on the receiving end of it. Now you got an audience. Now you got someone who's cheerleading for you. Now you got someone who's looking. So why not take that energy and become better? So you give them something to cheer for. So you give them something to look at. And then if you are the one that's feeling it and you have that green monster on your shoulder, then you can be empowered. Now you have extra energy to go out here and go after your goals. Now you got extra energy to pour into your body so that you become better. You got extra energy to get the information and the insight so that you can accomplish the goals that you want for your life. Transmute that energy. Don't project it out. It's a waste. It's a waste when you project the energy out, because it's not doing you any good. It's not helping anything when it's projected outwardly. When you're taking the time or wasting the energy, regardless if it's jealousy or if it's anger, and you're wasting time gossiping about it, complaining about it, talking about it, you're wasting the energy that could be the next key to your level up. Chat is open. If you have anything you want to add to the conversation or you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat. But I thought that this would be a very good thing to talk about, because I know that most women don't want to admit that they've ever even felt jealous, because it's like taboo. Women are not supposed to be jealous. We are not supposed to feel that type of emotion, for or against another woman. But I'm going to tell you this, I have felt jealous, and that energy has helped me to create a whole nother reality. Feeling that energy gave me so much insight into my desire, because it helped me to really hone in on what I truly wanted. Because that's the thing, right? When you're feeling that little green monster on your shoulder, a lot of times you don't know exactly what you want. You see something, it looks good, but you're not really sure what you want. But the more that you're feeling that energy of jealousy, the more insight that you receive that you desire that thing. And since I started being jealous and feeling that emotion, I started realizing I wanted that. And that helped me have more direction. It gave more structure to the things that I wanted in life, gave me more direction into where I need to go. Because that, instead of me wasting the energy of jealousy, because I could have did all kinds of things. I could have went around complaining, gossiping, trying to tear somebody else down, pour kerosene on somebody else's name. Instead, what I did, I alchemized it, transmuted it, and started realizing this jealousy is just insight, it's just information. It's because I want that thing. And instead of me staying stuck there, I decided to go after that thing. I started asking myself the deeper questions of why, how, when, where. And asking myself those deeper questions helped give me direction. And so this helped me to be able to create a whole nother reality for myself and help me to live the current lifestyle that I have. And now I give all credit due to feeling deep emotions of jealousy and anger. Because baby, anger can carry you a long way. Being angry, people have become CEOs because they were angry with their mom. People have went out here and found the love of their lives because they was angry that they got dumped. Angry, when you absolutely alchemize that energy, instead of just projecting it outwardly and use that energy to get the information desired, you will get the direction. You will be able to accomplish the things you're looking for. And I've had so many conversations with people, and they'll tell me about some type of emotion that they had, and it's through that emotion that they were able to accomplish some of the best things that they could ever accomplish in life. That's some people are super successful because they got angry. Some people have love of their life because they got angry. Some people are, because of jealousy, they have improved their beauty. They were jealous because of another woman. They were jealous of her body. They were jealous of her hair. They were jealous of her looks. So they improved their beauty because of it. That's why I say I will never, ever say that having strong emotions or these negative emotions are a bad thing, because it's information. What is anger? Anger is still telling you information. Any emotion that you are experiencing is giving you information when you dig deeper into that emotion. Anger is telling you information, just like jealousy is, because the anger is never the root. It is never the cause. There is something behind the anger, whatever it is. Maybe it's a situation. Maybe somebody said something. Maybe somebody did something to you. But it gives you information. And since once you receive that information, then you can dig deeper, and that information can give you direction. And that information can empower you so you can go after things you want in life. So emotions are great. Emotions are wonderful, especially if they're used properly. If they're transmuted, they're alchemized, and they're used in a way that this is going to empower the body versus disempower the body. As long as it's empowering the body and using that for the information desired, so you can get the directions to go and take care of the issue or do the things that you're going to desire from it, you'll be just fine. It's when it sits in the body that's a problem. It can make the body sick. I've talked about this before when I talk about how they've done the research on how now when someone gets like cancer, they're starting to dig a little deeper and find that anger is a root cause of cancer. That's just the emotion sitting in the body. It was never released. It never empowered the body to keep that person moving towards their goals and creating reality. It disempowered the body, and it just sat there. Basically, the person just sat there angry. I'm not saying sit there in anger or sit there in jealousy. I'm saying get the information desired from the emotion so that it can give you direction so that you can create your next reality. Because my jealousy specifically gave me the insight into what I desired. The reason I was jealous is because I desired what that person had, and I wanted it for myself. And instead of me projecting that onto them or projecting that energy outward and just wasting it, I decided to utilize the energy to empower me so that I can use the information that I received and make my life, create my reality or create my desired outcome. So yes, I do give the credit of feeling deep emotions to having or living the life that I currently live. I give credit to deep emotions helping me to create different paths for success for myself and being able to multiply my resources. If it wasn't for the emotions, all emotions have information. The thing is, are you following that information back and allowing that information to empower you and give you direction so you can achieve the things that you want in life? Or are you wasting that emotion, just projecting it outwardly, taking that energy and just complaining, arguing, gossiping? Utilize that energy in a way where it's not going to be helpful to you, where it's not empowering you. Anger tells you that you feel hurt, resentful. You might be really sensitive to slights. Yeah. But if you're really sensitive to slights, then you can that's information that you receive that you can absolutely make sure that you're not sensitive to that slight anymore, that you can start to become desensitized to that slight. So no longer are you sensitive to it anymore. That's information. Now you can embolden and empower yourself so that that thing doesn't bother you as much as it did prior. So all emotions, regardless of whatever it is, it can empower you and it can level you up, and you can live the life that you desire. You can create a whole new reality, a whole new lifestyle. You can rebuild, create yourself from paying attention to the emotions and getting that information. Whether you're on the receiving end of it or if you're feeling that yourself. So we already been 55 minutes here. So if we don't have any comments or questions, we're going to get ready to close out. But I felt like this is an important thing to talk about because as a woman myself, I have felt these things, and I know other women have also. And I know I've noticed that a lot of content creators are experiencing these things now. I don't know what it is. There must be an uptick in it. All of these different emotions are coming at content creators. And to me, it doesn't really bother me because I know that it's just, I can use that to empower me and to embolden me to go to the next level. But I know that everyone doesn't deal in that way with emotions. Everyone doesn't know how to transmute or alchemize those energies in order to empower themselves. Sometimes you're using it to disempower yourself. You're using it or not using it to be able to create that reality or your desired outcome. And you can, because emotions are nothing but energy, but they're also information. And that information can help you have the things you want in life. And I'm glad that on this page, we don't promote being robotic, because robotic is not going to give us the information. It's just only a neutral, it's a neutral emotion that robotic is. And like I said, I talked about the research that comes from, where they talk about how it would be better to have a negative or positive emotion in order to go after your goals and become successful than to be neutral. They found that when people were neutral or robotic, that they're not emboldened or empowered to go after the things they want in life. Like I said before, I know tons of people, myself, and you probably do too. You probably know somebody right now who the reason they are where they are is because of anger, because they were insecure or upset. They felt some strong emotions, and that empowered them to go out here and become better. And that's what emotions is supposed to do. It is supposed to be utilized in a way to empower the body. And in empowering the body, you get the information desired. It gives you the information, the direction that you need to be able to go and create your next level up or your new reality. So I don't mind people being jealous or angry, as long as I know I didn't personally do anything to cause harm, because I'm never advocating to cause harm. I'm just advocating for women to utilize those emotions and that energy so that you can create the things that you desire and you can have the life that you want, and not allow yourself to get caught up or be disempowered by those emotions, because they're human. You're going to feel them. You're going to be on the receiving end of it, and you're going to feel it yourself. I just don't want you to be disempowered by it. I want you to utilize it so you can empower your body and empower your mind so you can have the life that you want. All right, so I don't see any other questions or comments. I appreciate you ladies for being here all the way to the end. Thank you for supporting the content. Take the time to like the video, and also once the video posts, take the time to comment. I try to comment back and talk back to you. Hopefully you found some value in this, and I will see you all on the next one. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.